Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, we're going to talk some sports, we're going to talk some Hollywood news. We're also going to talk some politics, hopefully all in 1 hour in this show. Y'all know I'm a huge 007 fan, and recently I had shared with you all that the directors and writers of 007, they're looking, basically Hollywood's looking for a new 007. It's time to retire from Daniel Craig, and who's going to be the next to take the title of 007. And I gave you a list of rising stars in Hollywood, and we gave not all of them were white. We also had added some brothers to the mix too, right? And some not really rising stars. I know for a while Idris Elba, British actor who's now Sir Idris Elba, his name has been in the mix for quite some time, and he has a response that we'll share later on the show. Also in the sports world, Pat Mahomes, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, I can't believe I was having a brain fart there. Multi-time Super Bowl winning champ has just added a couple years to his current contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. So basically he revamped his contract, and you won't believe how much this man is gonna be making. I mean, rolling in the dough. Then we're also going to talk about Barry Weiss, who's the editor-in-chief over at CBS News, could possibly be running not just CBS News, but CNN. As you know, there's a merger happening that's almost finalized between Paramount and Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has CNN. Paramount currently has CBS. Merged together, you get both of them. So it's a lot that we're going to be talking about here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, tuning into yet another great conversation. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also check us out on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our radio affiliates, WBOK 12:30 a.m. out in New Orleans. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's on WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. And then we're going to head over to the to Las Vegas, KSHP 1400 a.m. or 107.1 FM. You can chime into the Arrington Gavin Show Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific. Again, that's only on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM Las Vegas. So you have multiple ways, multiple outlets that you can chime into the Arrington Gavin Show. And if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're growing each and every day, but we need your help. Obviously, if you happen to be watching this video right now, give us a thumbs up. We truly appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. And also just share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue to build up our YouTube channel. We have a goal to have at least 5,000 by the end of the year. So again, slowly but surely. And look, we want to exceed that goal. Okay, that's just a goal that my family and friends always get on me like, Arrington, why do you don't sky's the limit with your goal? I'm a realist, so I'm always saying, well, I will be fortunate if I can make this, or if I can have these many subscribers and that. And so that's why I'm saying, hey, we have a goal to at least hit 5,000, but if we exceed that, we'll be very, very grateful. And I say we because it takes a team to do everything we do here on the Arrington Gavin Show. It's not easy, and they know who who I'm talking about, those behind the scenes that help us help out with this program. So, as I mentioned, a lot to discuss, and we're going to talk about it all on the show. Let me see, what else did we have? Oh, and this Graham Platner is continuing to just excuse me, I had something stuck in my throat there. This Graham Platner guy out in Maine, he is the Democratic nominee for Maine U.S. Senate. He will be running against hoping to win the seat. He's running against incumbent longtime Senator Susan Collins, Republican out there in Maine. And I'll be honest, it's raised a bunch of questions, and I'll explain why after these commercial breaks. But we've been talking about Graham Platner for quite some time, but we're gonna head to a commercial break first, and we'll talk more about it for you all. So do not go anywhere. Do not change that dial. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goldverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth. #610 #1 pick, 16 seasons. College Player of the Year. All-Rookie Standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Let's get started with some sports news first. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but Pat Mahomes, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, multi-time Super Bowl winning QB, recently just reconstructed his contract with KC to keep him there, longer to for sure, retire in KC. Look at that price, y'all. Can we just I don't know if y'all heard. The man added they added I think 2 extra years. And this happens to be it's a historic deal, by the way. First NFL deal over $500 million. $500 million. All. Let me go ahead and read this for you. So, according to a joint report from ESPN and NFL Network, Mahomes has agreed to rework deal that will keep him under contract with Kansas City through 2033. Notably, the deal is worth $504.75 million, which is the first contract in the NFL history valued at over $500 million. Quote here, I'm going to read from the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, Clark Hunt, said, over the last decade, Patrick, has become one of the most iconic. And he's absolutely right. Pat Mahomes has changed the game of football, in my opinion. He became a star at such a young age in his career, at such a young age, and just very early on in his career. He was already breaking records, I think, in year 3 of his career, year 3, year 4. So for sure, I already looked at him as on the cusp of being top 3 greatest. You heard it here. Top 3 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Okay. He already has let me see here. And this I'm gonna continue to read from the Chiefs owner. He said he has helped lead our franchise to 5 Super Bowl appearances, winning 3. He has been instrumental in shaping the Chiefs brand and putting Kansas City on the world stage. And on top of it all, he has been an outstanding role model in the community. Patrick is a generational talent and an elite human being. And I'm so excited he will continue to lead our team to the future. Now, as I mentioned, the report notes that the new money is worth $239.05 million. The total value, obviously, of what I gave you earlier. First 4 years being guaranteed at signing. First 4 years. Oh, I tell you, man, he has the best agent. He has the best agent by far. The agent needs to win an award because that's a historic contract and well deserved. Don't get me wrong. It's great for Mahomes because he's still an elite quarterback. Let's be honest. But the Chiefs are not what they used to be. They lost a lot of weapons. All right. Last season, the Chiefs did not even make it to the conference game. I mean, they went way early on in the playoff run. So they're not the team that they used to be. Now, could they come back next season? Possibly. I personally think that you got to continue to add some more pieces to Kansas City. Now, one thing about Kansas City, even though a lot of their stars are gone, other stars wants to play for Kansas City Chiefs. And he's absolutely right. He's grown Kansas City to be an elite sports town. People ain't care about Kansas City. Even I remember, back when they had Tony Gonzalez. I mean, ain't nobody want to go to Kansas City. They were a losing organization. They were a losing squad. They only had, I believe, 1 Super Bowl franchise Super Bowl win, and that was like in the early years. I mean, early years in the league. So they weren't that top tier until you had Mahomes. You had Oh my gosh. Tyreek Hill at the time, you had Travis Kelce, you had a great defense, you had a phenomenal team all around. But Mahomes was that guy. He could run, he can throw the ball, he made trick plays. I mean, he was a playmaker for sure as at the QB role. Now, the difficulty is they signed this deal with him coming off of a bad injury. Last December he tore his ACL. But he is on the mend, progressing to 7-on-7 drills during Kansas City Chiefs offseason program. He said recently that his goal is to be on the field for week 1. Again, 2-time MVP, 3-time Super Bowl champ. On paper, it says yes, but again, he's coming off of an ACL injury. Could this have been a gamble for Kansas City, or is it just smart business on the agent's behalf? I mean, what's your take on it? What's your take? I know a lot of KC fans. I think that at the QB role, you want to hold on to an elite quarterback. Yes, quarterbacks get hurt, but they recover, and sometimes they might even be stronger. Sometimes they might not be the same, but they do return in close to the same elite status that they currently are. I say this again. I'm curious to see how KC does, because Travis Kelce is in the limelight heavy now because him and his fiance Taylor Swift, they're going to be getting married soon. All eyes are going to be on them. It's a lot of attention being brought to them. Travis Kelce, in my opinion, he might have 2 more good years left career-wise. Good years. That's not saying he couldn't play longer, but I'm just saying good years for him to still be reliable tight end. I think 2 years for sure. I mean, the man's making a killing outside of the off the field. Him and his brother have a successful podcast. As I mentioned, he's getting ready to marry one of the biggest stars in the world. He has a big personality too. He will be fine. Mahomes, on the other hand, doesn't have that big personality like a Travis Kelce, like a Shaquille O'Neal, and where I'm going with this, Mahomes just isn't. I don't look at Mahomes as being like highly marketable once he retires. So like I can't see him. I mean, I can't really see him being a commentator. And maybe it's just me personally. Like Russell Wilson just retired, right? He retired after 14 years, got a ring. His last 3-4 years in the league was not the greatest, I'll be honest, not the way he went to end his career, but his best years was with Seattle. Not Mahomes. Russell Wilson already gave vibes of commentator all day, every day. He's great. He's great behind the microphone when it comes to interviews, when it comes to responding to questions. He's solid. He already has a big personality. He's also a QB who is in a part of a Hollywood couple. His wife is Sierra, the popular pop star, R&B star, host, entertainer all around. They are successful together, but he is fit for, I would say, commentating. Tom Brady, big personality, fit for commentating. Hell, Tom Brady showing his chops on a Netflix roast. He got roasted himself. He's highly marketable. The Mannings together, highly marketable. Steph Curry, I said Seth Curry, the brother. Steph Curry, he's good in he gives me like he's like the typical pro athlete that you'll see in a sports related commercial kind of thing. And that's no disrespect to them, but I'm like, I don't really see big, I see big. Now he probably will be good when it comes with his investments and being a part of he will be successful. Same with Pat Mahomes. He's going to be successful outside the NFL. I'm just saying get all this money while you can, and then see where it goes from there, kind of thing. He's not the only Pat that is rolling in the dough right now. So apparently, or not apparently, um, I read some a report about Pat McAfee, former punter for my Indianapolis Colts. I think more well known as the media personality, host of the Pat McAfee Show. He does commentating for WWE. He does a College Game Day as well. I mean, that's somebody that is one talented ass individual, because he was a punter, 7-year with in the NFL, and but he grew a career larger. They're talking about his new contract with ESPN, because the show Pat McAfee started as a digital show, and then he moved it from platform to platform, outlet to outlet. Now he found a home at ESPN. Big contract, by the way. And they're talking about reconstruction this contract to getting paid $60 million a year, $60 million annually. Holy majoli. Okay, I think that will probably put him higher than Stephen A. Smith, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Stephen A. Smith, how much Stephen A. Smith get paid? I know he has $100 million contract. Stephen A.'s probably making between 20 and 25 a year. Wait, hold on, I might be tripping. No, he might be at that 20 million a year annually. So I mean, McAfee, 60 million. That's a good chunk of change right there, bro. That's a mean chunk of change right there. Let's go ahead and move it on outside the sports realm. I want to stay in the entertainment space though. So I don't know if y'all heard about this, but what's the guy's name? What's the guy? Property Brothers. There we go. The Property Brothers. You ever heard the Property Brothers, by the way? If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. Property Brothers, twin brothers, Jonathan Scott, and I don't know his other other brother's name, but they're famous, for crying out loud. This Property Brothers, and they were twin brothers. One was the contractor, and the other one was the realtor. Okay, and they grown to be massive stars of HGTV, hosting multiple shows, projects, you name it. They are making a killing. Well, one of the brothers, Jonathan, who I think Jonathan is the realtor, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's the realtor. He is on tap of developing a new talk show with CBS Media Ventures. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not crazy about that. I'm not crazy about that, because I remember when, like, say Drew Barry, it was a like a pattern, or a movement. Drew Barrymore, Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson. I remember when it was announced that they were getting a daytime talk show. Now, I personally, they're all extremely talented. Like, nothing against them. But it's like, oh my gosh, you want to say, does everybody want a freaking talk show now? Daytime talk show? Because the Jada Pinkett Smith and her family, they did their table talk, so everybody want to talk show. Everybody got something to say. And it's like, yeah, it sounds pretty weird coming from a guy that talks a lot, like, again. So I get it, but Jennifer Hudson, talented music artist, talented actress. Now she has a daytime talk show. And I'll be honest, I ain't crazy about Jennifer Hudson daytime talk. Nothing against her. I want to see her win. I want to continue to see her do great. She just doesn't get. Maybe I don't think she's like a good interviewer. I don't. She's sometimes back and forth. But I mean, maybe that's her. That's her. That's her vibe. Like, she doesn't want to read from cue cards. Like she just wants to talk like if it's regular conversation, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong keeping the conversation organic. But personally, I was not a fan. I didn't think it was going to last long. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing that helped out Jennifer Hudson's talk show was that tunnel, that spirit tunnel where everybody gets dancing and stuff like that, like his Soul Train line with her guests. That because it builds up an audience digitally, like on TikTok and all that stuff. So you got her, Kelly Clarkson had hers where she incorporated music. So I'm like, okay, you got two music people bring, and it's too much. Then Drew Barrymore's still on TV. When I look at their shows and I'm like, but Sherry got canceled. Sherry was a daytime person. She spent like 8 years on The View, got an Emmy with The View, and they had her own program. She was fit for that space. Now you got one of the Property Brothers with his daytime talk show. And me personally, the Property Brothers bore me. Like it's like corny humor between the two brothers, but they're on every freaking thing DIY related. But I don't think they're funny. Personally, I really don't think they're funny. Sometimes, and maybe it's just me, but when you feel as though like you see one person on everything, like hosting everything, like I remember like Ryan Seacrest, Steve Harvey, they're hosting every damn thing. And I'm like, you telling me out of all the public figures, celebrities, those out there in America, in the world, them the only two people that you can choose from? Oh, we're about to host this award show. We got to call Steve Harvey or we got to call Ryan Seacrest. I mean, good Lord. So going back to this Property Brothers, Jonathan Scott says here that the pilot episode series will be filmed later in June in New York. Okay, I believe they live in like the West Coast, but it will be considered for CBS Media Ventures fall 2027 syndication slate. The show has the working title Better with Jonathan Scott and will aim to inspire audience with fresh ideas to live better, all while having fun doing it. And it sounds like Dr. Oz. Remember when Dr. Oz had his show, but his was more like medically related because he was a quote unquote doctor. But I think it's gonna be a one and done. I really do. I think it's gonna be one and done. Now I have been wrong because when Harry Connick Jr. had his daytime talk show, I mean it had some humor to it, but it didn't last long. Because Harry Connick Jr., the singer, he has a big personality too. He's also a former judge on American Idol. And I was in attendance. I actually it was funny. Back in the day, my mom and I, we were visiting fam in New York, and we're in New York. We're stopping to, Manhattan, got to catch a Broadway play, got to catch a Knicks game, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, we got to catch Steve Colbert's show late in I would love to go see the Steve Colbert show or Stephen Colbert. And, it was a long line. And so the way, those talk shows and late night shows always are is, there's free tickets. There is no like, oh, I got to, pay to reserve my seat. No, there's none of that. You have an A line and a B line. A line is like the very first line ahead, 90% chance of them making it into the theater. The B line is like, okay, half y'all gonna come in, half y'all gonna have to are not gonna make it, but you'll have a reserved spot in the A line. Now, of course, we weren't staying forever, so we were in the B line. We didn't make it. We missed out. What show do we end up catching? And we made it. Harry Connick Jr. show. And I'm like, God damn. And all you saw was a bunch of women. It was mostly women there because they loved them some Harry Connick Jr. But it was dope, though. They end up taping 2 shows, and you got to see behind the scenes how it works. Got to see a bunch of stars. Got to see Kevin James, comedian, actor Kevin James. I'm a huge fan, Kings and Queens, right? And he did his show, but he also did a taping of his sitcom at the time. I forget the name of it, but it was dope. It was a great experience. But all around, what I'm trying to explain, because you're probably saying, Arrington, where are you going with this? Because you're all around the place. Y'all know me by now. You know that's what I do. I'm all around the place. Not everybody deserves to have a daytime talk show. Not everybody's fit for daytime television. Have somebody with a personality that can be very attracting to folks. Don't just say that person's famous. They need a show. No, grab somebody that is really engaging with the audience, funny, quick-witted. Like No, just don't. You can't just be handing out daytime talk shows like they hotcakes. Says here, Scott looks to break into daytime television, as several major properties have left the air this year, including The Kelly Clarkson Show, Access Hollywood, and Sherry. Scott is an entrepreneur, TV personality, real estate expert who co-hosts a long-time running Canadian reality show, Property Brothers. Didn't know it was Canadian. With his twin brother Drew. Okay. Scott Brothers also hosts the HGTV show Celebrity IOU. I actually like that show. And in which they help famous people surprise the people who have positively affected their lives with large home renovations. With his brother, Scott has renovated more than 1,000 homes. Great people. Like I said, great people. I'm not gonna be here as like, I'm not gonna, be the person be sounding like a hater. All I'm saying is, like, if I want to watch a daytime talk show and enjoy it, I don't want to see no Property Brothers on it. I don't. I mean, if I had to pick one in the recent years, it was Sherry. And I didn't watch it at the moment. I watched it on YouTube. But Sherry had a great show. Who else had some daytime? I mean, yeah, it was really. I mean, just Sherry Shepherd. Sherry was great. I enjoyed it, but hey, can't always get what you want. Can't always get what you want. I think we are okay. Let's stay in the entertainment space. This one actually has a little politics with it. So Idris Elba, y'all know how much I'm a huge 007 fan, as I've shared with you all before. Idris Elba, who recently got knighted by the royal family, so he's now considered Sir Idris Elba. Actor, DJ, all around just dope dude. Idris had been I would say he had been a contender for the next 007. It's always been they've always put it in his name because here's what it was. They were like, what if 007, what if James Bond 007 was black? Ooh, who would be a good man to play James Bond? And they always said, well, what about Idris Elba? He's a very popular British actor, because you had to be British. You couldn't be English or you couldn't be, from America and be 007. No, they gotta be British. They have to be from England in one of those things. Idris Elba would have been great. At the time, I think Idris is at that time and age in his career where it's like it's past overdue. So he's like, man, I mean, you missed out. But here's what Idris had to say, because he respects the role too. Because here's the thing, 007 has never been a person of color. It's always been a white male. And Idris said, this is reported by the BBC. He said, don't try to make James Bond woke. Now, could he be getting some backlash from woke left? Probably. But I agree with Idris. I understand that. Why not? Because James Bond is a fictional character. Why not try having them in different, I guess different ethnicities and nationalities? But for the this role, you have to be really passionate about 007 role and just the culture, right? The James Bond culture. James Bond was never a black man, right? It does suck to say, like, oh, it'd be nice if, but it's because why not, right? But then folks will be like saying, oh my gosh, I don't, people all be, oh my gosh, why you have to make it this? Because folks are already gonna assume you're making it woke, you're turning it this, you're turning it that. Oh my goodness. And most of the time it's coming from people that is opposite of color. Okay. But I get it, because he's firsthand like, no, I grew up on James Bond. James Bond was always this guy, like, just keep it the same. Don't ruin it. It's not going to offend anybody, because James Bond's always been this role. When this role was created, it was created to be this role. Keep it moving. Let me read you a little bit of this article in context. Idris, who has previously said that he was never in the race to play the famous spy, despite years of rumors, told GQ that he was nevertheless flattered by the suggestion. He said that Bond was written how he was written for a reason, but added he was complimented by being linked to the role. The realistic terms, some markets just don't go for that. He went on to say Bond is big all over the world, and audiences won't all go for a black male and African American male playing Bond. That's not what they like in their culture. Period. He then went on to say Bond is so unrealistic, so a hint for reality is good, but let's not try and make it woke. I think you've got to be pure to what it is. Escapism, excuse me. Don't try to answer the world's taste, just be Bond. I mean, I can't be mad at that comment there. I can't be mad at that statement. He's saying stop forcing it. Stop saying, okay, I have to do this. Sometimes you just gotta let it flow. You just gotta let it flow. Because see, sometimes when you rush and pour and this and that and the other, like for example, a perfect example. When in the workforce, where you at the time you had, diversity programs, DEI initiatives, all that stuff. You kind of notice when companies forced it because, like, okay, we have to. Just as quick as they entered it, as quick as they brought it in. Obviously, you saw how quick they took it away. But it's like sometimes they force it a little. I'll tell you a funny story, and then I'll move on to the next one. When I was in high school, we had I think it was like Black History Month, and I went to a predominantly white school, and not a lot of minorities in my grade or in the school in general. And we used to always have what they call chapel days. I went to a private Christian school. Every Wednesdays we had chapel days. Whether we had a speaker, pastor, yada yada yada, we had chapel days. And it was one occasion where and a teacher had the help from students. I think they asked for students' insight, primarily black students. And for Black History Month, they played a black gospel rapper, and it was just odd. It was really awkward. It wasn't even like offensive. A lot of students, a good number of black students took offense and they got up and walked away. But it was some moments where it was just like, you're trying really hard. Like, maybe you should just, acknowledge, right? Maybe have a activist come speak at the, and just say like, hey, look, here's where, my people have come from. Do something like that. But it was just weird. It was so weird. It was it was funny at the same time, but it was also weird. And in my mind, I'm like, y'all just can't force things. You have to let stuff gradually happen. And so I think kind of what he's initiating here, Idris Elba is saying, is like, just be Bond. Don't try to answer to the world's taste. Just be Bond. And I got nothing but respect for that comment. Let me go ahead on, and we're gonna digress from this story here. And I want to move it on by talking about Platner. Graham Platner. Okay. Now, Graham Platner has been in the news for quite some time lately. He was the oyster farmer, businessman out of Maine who had grown a huge notoriety as a strong candidate to possibly unseat longtime Senator Susan Collins. And then when you start knowing more about this individual, then some issues start popping up, right? Bad things start popping up. And when I mean bad things, you start reading you start finding dirt. You start looking at his past and all this stuff. So let me just let me tell you how controversial this guy is. Now, he's a Democratic nominee, mainly because the governor, Janet Mills of Maine, dropped out of the race due to funding. Now, Graham Platner has been endorsed by Bernie Sanders, Representative Rokana, Democratic, I think California, maybe. I think he's California, but Democratic Representative Rokana, independent senator out of Vermont, Bernie Sanders. I forget who else had endorsed him, but a lot of folks are not taking away their endorsement, and they're still going to support him regardless. Now, I rarely replay The View on here, just as far as like pulling some clips here, but I'll check it in from time to time. I find look, I'm a huge Whoopi fan, and I'm a fan of each individual person on The View, but I guess I've always find them annoying sometimes too. Sunny Hostin, I think that's her last name. It's like I can tell her, and sometimes she gets on my nerves because I hear her kind of sounding a bit hypocritical to a certain extent, and sometimes I feel her just wanting to make a scene. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's something that sometimes bugs me about. Maybe she's a little too left for me. Left for me. I mean, again, I'm independent. She's a little too. I don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead because the ladies had a huge disagreement on like why should the party still support Graham Platner after all these serious controversial stories and issues that came out about Platner. And before I play you the clips, let me go ahead and share exactly what we're talking about. So the first thing is allegations of abusive behavior towards former partners. Now, this is reported by The Guardian. Several former romantic partners told reporters that Platner engaged in emotional, manipulative, and in some instances, physical intimidating behavior. One former girlfriend alleged he grabbed or restrained her during arguments. Platner has since denied some of those allegations while acknowledging that he was a deeply flawed partner during periods of untreated PTSD and alcohol abuse after his military services. Now, I totally understand people struggle with addiction, especially after serving in the military. And PTSD is nothing to like overlook. That is a serious issue. And he said he abused alcohol. People have addictions. It turns them into people that they don't want to be. Now, personally, and it's sad to say, I could care less of the personal life when it comes to their relationships with elected officials. Look, we all know everybody they got their freaky side. I could care less of what happens behind closed doors when it comes to their personal relationships. I don't think that's a deal breaker when it comes to voting who you want to vote for, right? Or when it comes to a candidate. I'm just be honest. Like, are we gonna have to acknowledge? Oh, are they married? Are they boyfriend and girl? What is their relationship status? Like, give me a break. I don't care. Are they having issues? Everybody got issues. Everybody has. Marriage is not easy. Relationships is not easy. So I don't look at that as like a key thing that I'm gonna look to when I'm voting on a candidate. Now, moving on. That was the first one though. So allegations of abusive behavior towards former partners. That's one. Now he is married, and his wife is very supportive of him. Now here's the thing that caught my attention: Nazi associated tattoo. So Platner came under scrutiny for a tattoo resembling the Nazi SS. I can't even pronounce that word, but it was a symbol. It was a Nazi symbol. He has said the tattoo was not intended as a Nazi endorsement and has since had it covered or removed. So you can't see it because it was on his chest. On his chest, by the way. The issue generated significant criticism, particularly from Jewish organizations and political opponents. Look, you can't come out here, okay. And look, I'm going to just be honest. The tattoo was recently taken like maybe a few years ago or less than that. That's a bit too recent for me. And I look at it as, okay, what if the tables were turned? If this was Republican candidate had that, the left media, the Democrats would chew their tail out. Okay, they would chew their tail out. So I'm looking at it, call a spade a spade. Also, offensive online posts. Okay, so this is 3. Old Reddit comments attributed to Platner resurfaced. Among the most controversial were remarks suggesting sexual assault victims should bear some responsibility for avoiding dangerous situations. He has distanced himself from those comments and indicated they do not reflect his current views. Okay. Sexting and infidelity allegations, again with the relationships. Reports from multiple outlets allege that Platner exchanged sexual explicit messages with several women and maintained overlapping romantic relationships. Additional reports indicate his wife had raised concerns with campaign staff about some of the messages. And then also, Platner has characterized many of these stories as sensationalized and politically motivated. It's a report by the Wall Street Journal. Lastly, campaign staff turmoil. Okay, several senior campaign staff members resigned during the campaign. One former political director publicly criticized Platner's character after leaving the campaign. The departures fueled question about campaign management and leadership. Again, all key issues of why I think Democrats should not support Platner. I don't think he has a chance at this point to compete against longtime serving Senator Susan Collins. Let me go ahead and share you a couple of clips here, a couple of highlights from The View. So here's Sarah Haynes, who's the independent at the table. Here's what she had to say about this.
As an independent, when partisanship rules the day and it stops being about people, you lose me every time. We have literally witnessed some of the most disgusting humans rising in power, handed over by voters. And you are telling me we're going to put another person up and turn our faces at the human he's shown us he is. And it has nothing to do with his marital discrepancies. I honestly, in this day and age, don't care. Yeah. That's personal to me. But when you've shown me you have so much hate in your heart that you can literally wipe off full groups of people, and you name it, fill in the blank he has. That Nazi tattoo that he supposedly has covered up and said he didn't know what it meant, but many ex-girlfriends said he used to proudly call it what it is, a totem cough, which is a Nazi symbol. Yeah. He has shown us who he is. There is no way in my life I could sleep at night turning my face to all of that. And I don't know who can. I wish some of the Democrats would stand up. This was the party of Me Too. Women have made accusations. They have not been proven yet. But weren't we supposed to listen and hear them? Literally, we were in a time of anti-Semitism, the numbers of anti-Semitic hate. And this guy proudly wore a tattoo for years. All the things he's shown us. And we're going to say, well, this time, because we might agree with his policy, we can turn our heads. I cannot turn my head. I hope other people would join me in that. And as an independent.
Okay, so that's Sarah. Okay, now here's Sonny Holston, who is I would say I'll put her along as the strong lefty between her, Joy. They're like the strong lefties at the table. Here's what Sarah Sonny Holston had to say.
I think Republicans at this point can ask us to take the moral high ground.
There you go.
That is over at this point.
That's right.
That is over.
It's a choice.
I am sorry. Democrats have always fallen in love and Republicans have always fallen in line. It's time for Democrats to stop that nonsense, put emotions on the side. Let's be strategic. Let's get some power. Yeah. Let's take over the Senate. Yeah. Let's take over the House and let's right the ship. Let's get our country back. I am sorry. I am someone that believes in character. I am someone that believes that morals matter. But because of the state of this country, if I lived in Maine, I would hold my nose and I would vote for Platner. I would. I don't think we're.
And see, that's what pisses me off though about those comments. Like, some folks will say, you know, she's standing up for democracy, trying to get that win. Look, like Sarah said, partisan over the character. You can't. Sonny has been the most vocal person of how she cannot stand this administration and Trump and MAGA in general. Who doesn't, right? But she, especially during election season, called out people who basically held their nose voted for Trump, in the presidential race, or even just in general. I mean, just she has called out so many people for basically doing the exact same thing that she's doing, and that's why they get on my nerves. I'll be honest, like especially Sunny. Like she is known to do stuff like that. Now, again, I understand the stakes are high when it comes to what's going on in our country right now. I mean, people are literally on the cusp of losing health care, social security. I mean, it's disgusting. I can't even imagine like just bringing stuff up like where our veterans are hurting and not receiving the benefits. People, as I mentioned, could possibly lose their health care, lose their health care, and also losing parts of their social security money, their own money that they've worked hard for. Okay, a la Mike Johnson with your comments of well, I don't know if I have time to talk about that, but Platner, again, I'm just saying, call a spade a spade. When you come hard in the paint on MAGA and the Trump administration and those who support him, you can't automatically say, now maybe this is an example of them, fighting fire with fire, and it's like two wrongs don't make it right. But I just think that it's going to be, it's not helping the cycle that you're trying to end, right? What are you trying to prove here? This man, literally, the signs are already shown. He is not, and I personally, I'll be honest, with all this being said, could he still win? I'll be shocked. I will personally be shocked. Now, he had support of and I think if he wins, then I think that people would ease off the Democratic Party on the stance that they took. If they lose, it's like, well, damn, y'all just showed yourself that you will still support this person regardless of the issues, and y'all still lost. I mean, Maine is an interesting state. Maine is an interesting state when it comes to their elections. But here's another hypocrisy thing. So this is Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne Conway is a former Trump staffer. She's now I think like a contributor on Fox News, and she's also the ex-wife of George Conway, who's also a former conservative, worked under the Trump administration. He's an attorney. He's now running for Congress as a Democrat in New York. Here's what Kellyanne Conway had to say on Fox News.
And the rest of the Democrats, and they said, is there anything else? Ladies and gentlemen, what else do you need? Is there a magic number in the Scandalabra that would make you stop? Would it have to do with Nazis or putting upon women, perhaps underage women, but definitely women not your wife of 2 years? Would it be that you're lying about, that you're insulting heroes, that he's not even fit to lick their combat boots? So I'd ask the Democrats, is power really worth that to you?
Now, I look at that as the pot calling the kettle black, because she said this: he's insulted our heroes, right? She insulted our American heroes. So I think about, remember when Trump insulted John McCain, an American hero, a war veteran? Like, do y'all remember? Yeah, okay. So boom, you already elected that person, someone that's lying, infidelity issues. So you see where I'm saying, where both sides are looking like fools in a case like this. So you have the right, continuing to criticize Platner and the Democrats and X, Y, and Z. And and they're like, oh my gosh, how can you support? Is it really like a power thing? Oh my goodness. Remember, look if you go in the history books of Republicans of who they elected in office. I mean, hello, look at Ken Paxton, is the Republican nominee for Senate in Texas. His defense attorney, Paxton's own defense attorney, is endorsing James Tallarico. Because Ken Paxton's own defense attorney knows how corrupt Ken Paxton is. Like, I mean, what in the world? What in the world? You can't make this up. Ken Paxton was impeached by his own Republican Party. Yet, again, MAGA, Trump endorsed him, and now he's a candidate. I mean, it just really just goes, it blows my mind. But I mean, it's all about power, y'all. It's all about power and greed. Bump all that, by the people, for the people. They are not doing anything for the people at this point. They're not. Okay? They are not doing anything for the people. Look, we're witnessing celebrations that are occurring at the White House lawn that we've never expected to, because it looks a bit suspect, right? We got fighting matches happening out there. What's next? We're gonna have the slap off competition shown out there. Come on now. It's insane. Now, my final takes. I'm looking at my time here. My final take on this Graham Platner and Susan Collins race in Maine. I think Susan Collins will win. It'll be extremely close. I really do think so. Now, if Platner did not have this backlash, then he will win it by a landslide. For sure. But again, and honestly, he could have had the allegations, and if he just had even just the allegations, he still would have won by a landslide. I'm looking at the two strongest reasons why he would lose and should not be even supported by the and I wish I could play some sound bites from some of the elected officials that's endorsing him. But again, Nazi associate tattoo and offensive online post. Those are the two main things. Just it's hard. I'm sorry. It's hard. Now, I know my progressive friends are probably not gonna like what I have to say, like my take on that, but hey, agree to disagree. My friends, the time is getting close to an end here. We are continuing to grow the Arrington Gavin show. Do me a favor, if you have not done so, check out our website, www.theagshow.com. Okay, theagshow.com. Where is here we go. Theagshow.com. I put a QR code up there for those who are watching in the top corner. It will lead you to our wonderful and amazing website. It will help you catch up on past episodes as well. It's just the ones that you've missed. You can also follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Substack. Check out our Substack X as well. And what else? Oh, TikTok. Yeah, we're on TikTok as well too. So we're we growing, y'all. Threads. Follow us on Threads as well. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, we're continuing to grow our platform. We got some projects in the works that we're going to be working on. So stay tuned on our social media platform. But until next time, my friends, stay safe out there. Stay blessed. You got big midterms happening, so be sure to get out there, cast your vote, make sure your voice is heard. I know we have issues happening out here in these streets, but you cannot, I repeat, you cannot just ignore it. You can't. You really can't. We got so much stuff happening. Until next time, my friends, care, peace and blessings. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.